Part 1.2, The Paschal Supper.
Now let us go to the story of my passion. The story that will give glory to the Father and holiness to other chosen souls. The night before I was handed over was a night full of joy because of the Paschal Supper, the inauguration of the eternal banquet at which human beings must sit to feed themselves of me. If I were to ask Christians, what do you think of this supper? Surely many would say that it is the place of their delight, but few would say that it is my delight. There are souls who take communion, not for the joy that they experience but for the joy that I feel. They are few because the rest of them only come to me to ask for gifts and favors. I embrace all the souls that come to me because I came to earth to make the love with which I embrace them grow. And since love does not grow without sorrows, little by little I withdraw the sweetness, to leave the souls in dryness. And this is so that they fast from their own joy, to make them understand that they must keep their light focused on another desire, mine. Why do you talk about dryness as if it were a sign of diminishment of my love? Have you forgotten that if I do not give happiness, you must taste your dryness and other sorrows? Come to me, souls, but think only that I am who wills everything and who incites you to look for me. If you only knew how much I value unselfish love and how it will be acknowledged in heaven. Oh, how greatly the soul who possesses it shall rejoice. Learn from me, dear souls, to love only to give joy to the one who loves you. You will have sweetness, and much more than what you leave behind. You shall enjoy so much of everything of which I have made you capable. It is I who prepared the banquet for you. I am the food. How then, can I let you sit at my table and leave you fasting? I promised you that whoever feeds on me will no longer hunger. I serve myself of things in order to reveal my love to you. Follow those called to act as my priests to you, who take the occasion of this Paschal feast to lead you to me. But do not linger over what is human, otherwise, you will nullify the other purpose of this feast. Nobody can say that my supper has become their nourishment when they only experience sweetness. For me, love grows with denial of self. Many are priests because I wished to make them my ministers, not because they truly follow me. Pray for them. They should offer my Father the sorrow that I felt when in the temple I overturned the benches of the merchants and I reproached the ministers of that time for having turned the house of God into opportunists. When they asked me under what authority had I done that, I felt an even greater sorrow upon confirming that the worst denial of my mission came precisely from my ministers. For that reason, pray for the priests that treat my body with the sense of habit and, therefore, with very little love. You will soon know that I had to tell you this because I love you and because I promise anyone who prays for my priests, the remission of all due temporal punishment. There will be no purgatory for those who grieve because of lukewarm priests, but rather paradise immediately after their last breath. And now, let me embrace you again in order for you to receive the life that I, with infinite joy, made you part of. That night with infinite love, I washed the feet of my apostles because it was the culminating moment in which to present my church to the world. I wanted my souls to know that even when they may be burdened with the greatest sins, they are not excluded from graces. They are close to my most faithful souls, they are in my heart, receiving the graces that they need. What anguish I experienced at that moment knowing that in my apostle Judas was represented so many souls who gathered at my feet and cleansed so many times with my blood, were yet to be lost. At that moment, I wanted to teach sinners that because they have sinned, they should not distance themselves from me thinking that they no longer have recourse and that they will never be loved as before they sinned. Poor souls! These are not the feelings of a God who has shed all his blood for you. Come to me all of you and fear not because I love you. I will cleanse you with my blood and you will be as white as snow. I will drown your sins in the water of my mercy and nothing will be able to snatch from my heart the love that I have for you. My beloved, I have not chosen you in vain. Respond to my election with generosity. Be faithful and firm in the faith. Be meek and humble so that others may know the greatness of my humility.